Join me as I take on the challenge of creating a totally groovy funk disco song that's 70s inspired using Band in the Box. Now, we all know that Band in the Box is great for country and rock and old jazz, but it does fall a bit short in styles for dance and funk music. So let's dive in and see if I can create a professional sounding track that's reminiscent, of the iconic "I Will Survive" type hits from the 1970s with Band in the Box. Now, I know that capturing the essence of 70s music, it can be a bit tough, especially for those who didn't grow up during that era. Just so happens I did. Okay. But one of the biggest challenges is getting that distinctive sound, which often features lush instrumentation, catchy melodies, and a laid back vibe. And many musicians and producers, they struggle to replicate the sound in their modern compositions, and they often end up with tracks that feel forced or inauthentic. But Band in the Box makes it incredibly easy to get started with creating your own 70s inspired tracks with a vast library of instruments, styles, and rhythms. And you can quickly find the perfect combination to get that retro vibe that you're looking for. So let me change my screen, and I'm going to create an instrumental, funk disco song. I've got some lyrics, but I think for this particular tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as an instrumental, right? But I'm going to create this instrumental in 4 steps or 4 parts. So hang on a second and let me change my screen and let's get the funk moving. So step 1 is I need to find a style, a funk, disco type style that I thought would work. And I'm going to go to Style Picker, and I'm going to go, and again, and I've already defaulted. If you notice my right here, I've decided to pick disco. That's my filter. My filter is disco. So it's going to show me disco styles, right? If you notice in the genre here, it shows disco and modern pop. Now, I have to be honest, Band in the Box is a little bit weak in the disco and the modern pop stuff, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So I decided to pick this gyro funky dance guitar. I auditioned some other styles, but I could waste your time doing that. You can just click on them. But I decided to use gyrate funky dance guitars. So I'm going to load that out, load the demo for that, and I'm just going to use the chords that are there. This is what the song sounds like. See, I like that. Now, it beats 115, but I can work with that. So I'll just leave it set at 115. Now, what I would also do is that because of the fact that I'm going to just do a quick pre-arrangement of the song before, just to set it up the way I would like to set it up, because I don't want to start. I consider these 8 bars here to be the first verse. I consider these 8 bars here to be the pre-chorus, and I consider these 8 bars here to be the chorus. So I need to set the song up that way. So the first thing I'm going to do, notice I have a repeat here. I'm going to go to choruses. I'm going to set the chorus to 1, which is what I call unfolding the song. So I've unfolded the song now. And I'm going to set my end bars at 80. It's just a standard thing for me. I just do 80. Whether I use 80 bars or not, I just set it up for 80 bars. So that's what I do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 8 bars here. I'm going to copy them. And I'm going to insert 8 bars. And I'm just going to paste these 8 bars in here. Let me do a copy again just to make sure I got them. And right here, I'm going to paste these 8 bars in. So that's my intro right now. Is these 8 bars are my intro. Bar 9 through bar 16 is my verse, my first verse. Bar 17 through bar 24 is my pre-chorus. Bar 26 through bar 32 is my hook. I'm going to leave this 33 here for 4 bars. It's kind of like a break before I go into the second half of the song. And I'm just going to take and just copy the song after that. So I'm just going to just highlight all of these. Just do a copy, right click, and I'm going to do a copy. And at bar 37, I'm going to paste these at bar 37. So that's going to be like 2 versions of the song. And notice where you see the blue and the green here, right? Those are considered part markers. So now I've actually set up a pattern for the song already. And again, if I play it, So that's step one. So step one is select a style, unfold the song, do a quick pre-arrangement, whether it's going to be the final arrangement or not, do a quick pre-arrangement, and that's where we are. So now I've got my pattern, I've got a song that I like, I've got a style that I like anyway, right? And I'm ready to go on and move on to the next phase. So just while we get ready to go to step two. So step two is I need to select my instruments. And the key, to creating a believable 70s type inspired hit is you got to focus on the details. And this means like paying attention to those little things, like the sound of the instruments, the way they're mixed, the overall feel of the track. And in that style of music, they were famous in funk and disco styles of the 70s. They were famous for strings, wah-wah guitars, picking guitars, drum loops with a steady beat. And notice this song has drum loops in it. Drum loops with a steady beat, bouncy bass lines, and they would have this bell synth sometimes that's reminiscent of the sounds from the old Yamaha DX7. So let's get some of those. So I already have a bass, which is a bass synth. I've already got a guitar, two guitars. I've got some drum loops, and I've got a third guitar. I already have those. So I want to add some other instruments in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to put some vocal ahs for maybe when we get to the pre-chorus or the hook, I might use them. So I'll just go ahead and just go to the soloist track. And I'm going to go to select real tracks. I'm going to do select real tracks. And I've already got it defaulted. If you notice, if you filter by vocal, right, I can always select the vocal ahs. So I'm just going to select some vocal ahs for the background. Let me see. I'm going to do vocal ahs, pop 3-part. I'll do part 3-part. And I can demo it, just solo it and demo it. See what it sounds like. I'll just choose that. Yep. So I think that's pretty cool. So I have some vocal ahs already set, just so I'm ready to go, right? Now, what do I need to add next, right? I need to put my strings in. So I need to add some strings here. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to add some strings. Now, again, all of this stuff is not going to play at the same time, and I know that, but these are the instruments that I want because I think they are critical to doing this type of music. So I'm going to select some real tracks, and right down here, I'm going to go to and type in strings under filter. And I'll just do an update here. And it's giving me strings. So the thing about it is that when I want strings, I want, what's the best way to put it? I want some even strings, right? So I'll just use, there you go, string pads. I'm looking for a nice string pad. So my string pad would be, I don't want to hold the strings. I'm going to let the strings actually filter. Sounds good. So I'm going to use those strings there. And now I have my strings. The next thing I wanted to do, I put a ton of stuff in here. Whether I use it or not is another story, but I like to have it available to me. So I don't have a wah-wah guitar in here. So at utility number 3, I'm going to add a wah-wah guitar. And it's taking me a couple of seconds to find that. Let me see if I come again, rhythm. And I'll just put in, I'll see if it brings me wah-wah up. Ah, there we go. We got some wah-wah guitars here, right? So I'm going to do some funk 16th wah-wah guitars here. I'm a solo. Wow, I think I'm doing Shaft, right? So I'll add some wah-wah guitars here. See, notice the song is already sounding different. So I've got some wah-wah guitars here. Now, they also use brass, so I'm going to add some brass in here. So I'm going to find me a brass section, a horn section that I can add at utility 4. Funky horn section. Let's try that one. I like that one better. So now I have a horn section. Now I know I'm adding a lot. I'm going to add a synth with a bell tone, bell pad. That I'm sure that's good. That's good. I think it's sounding better already. I think it's getting more poppier. I think it's getting more funk, more disco-y. I think it's going to do that. Now I need to add another set of drums, and the reason why is because it's playing loops for drums right now, and loops don't respond to crashes and rolls and things like that. So I'm going to add some drums here, and here's some funk disco real drums, and I'll demo these in a solo mode. And I think they'll work just fine. So that's what I have here. So again, I had my initial 4 tracks, 5 tracks. I had bass, guitar 2, guitar 1, loop, and 2 loops, and a guitar. And I added vocal ahs. On the utility tracks, I added strings. I added another guitar, horn section, synth, and drums. So those sounds are reminiscent to me of 70s slash type disco sound. So and this is what it sounds like. I know it's all jumbled together, but this is what it sounds like right now. So that's part 2. Part 2 is getting your sounds right, getting the sounds that are reminiscent of that era. Now, step 3. I've got my instruments. I got my wah-wah pedal. I got my strings. I got my vocal oohs and ahs, right? Got all that, the synth pad, the bells, got all that little funky stuff, right? So the thing about funk and disco music, though, is that it had lots of stabs, lots of instruments coming in and out of the arrangements. You know, it had a lot of drum percussion breaks, right? Because it was dance music. So it had those things. So with Band in a Box, you could easily experiment with different settings and arrangements, and until you find, you know, the perfect combination. So let's do a quick setup. I'm going to do a quick setup of the arrangement now. And then instead of wasting your time, I'm going to play for you what the full arrangement sounds like in another pattern I have. But just to get you started here, remember that I started it with 80 bars. I set it for 80 bars, but actually 88 bars now. I got one chorus, and I have my first 8 bars of my intro. Then my verse starts at bar 9. My pre-chorus starts at bar 17. And my hook is at 25. And I've got a little short interlude at 33, and so on and so forth. But even starting the intro at 8 bars, I thought that needed something a little special. So what I said is, says it's a club song, so let me start it out with some percussion. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to insert 2 bars right at the beginning. And now I've got 2 bars that are just going to be percussion until I bring everything else in. So now I'm going to go to bar settings. Let me mute everything. All instruments will mute except for the ones that I decided to have them play. So I'm going to go here again, close this window out. I'm going to go here, and it should start just drums. Yep, that's what I want. Now, I think that would be perfect to bring a guitar in at bar 7. Just bring them on and then take them out. You know what I mean? So, guitar 3. And let me see what my last guitar. I'm not going to bring the wah-wah in. Let's just bring those 2 in and see what we get here. And again, so recharge it up. Straight drums. And this is just intro. And notice I have my drums, you know, snapping, right, playing rolls, things like that, as we move into the next section. So again, that's a simple arrangement, and this is part 3. Another thing I did also, though, is that the song is in F sharp minor, which Band in a Box makes it so simple. Is I didn't think this was a key when I got to vocals. If I decided to sing the song, this wasn't probably the best key for me to sing in. So I actually changed it, and I'm going to show you how quick I could change. I actually changed the key to G flat. And that's how quick it changed. Notice the chords changed. Now if I regenerate, and you'll hear it's different. It'll be a G flat now. Which, like I said, is probably better for somebody. You can put it in any key you want. I'm just saying that, you know, for me, I thought it was a better key. And I actually like that. So that's part three. Part three is again is making a simple arrangement of it, right? Adding an intro, adding percussion to that intro, and doing setting the song up so that the song is ready to go. So that's and changing the key. I'm sorry. So that's part three. Okay, so again, we're at step four, part four, right? The full arrangement. Again, I don't want to take you guys through all the bar settings, things like that. I have other tutorials that show you how to do that. But I just wanted to show you how it actually goes. So this is a sneak peek of the track that I've created, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's my intro. See, I changed it. I just decided to just do guitar and then bring the piano in. Still intro. Now, if I had some vocals, I would start singing here. First verse. Pre-chorus. Notice the strings came in. Here's the hook. Notice the horns are here now. Short break. My wah-wah guitar. And the bell set. And I'm back into the song. So what do you think? Can you hear the influence of, say, Chic or, KC in the Sunshine Band or something from that era, Anyway, all you need to do now is add your lyrics and add your vocal arrangements. And I actually have some lyrics for it. I just haven't taken it to the point I want to sing it yet. But anyway, that's what this is all about. Again, this is about creating a, funk/disco song in Band in the Box. And the best part is in Band in the Box, it's easy to get started and see results. And you don't need to be a professional musician or producer to create high quality music. I think this is pretty high quality, It's just a matter of being able to experiment and also to have fun. So what do you think? I'd love to hear your comments on my little funk disco song, right? And again, stay tuned for more tips and tricks from Henry on Senior Musicians Unite and how to use certain features and industry talk in Band in the Box. I see you guys next time, okay? Bye.